What it is, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. So, a couple days ago, I posted a video talking about this little V8 Chevy. This was a motor that was left over from another project, yada, yada, yada. It's going to go in that 53 or 54 Dodge tow truck. So, a couple guys were asking me, why don't they put a Chrysler in there? Why don't they do an LS? Why don't they do this? The reason I'm using this motor is I'm using everything that I have laying around the shop from abandoned projects, vehicles that I bought for parts, and that's what this is. This was from another project. I was able to put everything together on this motor. I had shorty water pump, all the shorty pulleys, alternator, manifolds, all this stuff I had. Right now, other than the high torque starter, which is the only thing I bought, Amazon high torque starter, was 90 bucks. So I have that hooked up. I've got a battery. This keeps falling off, so we'll have to do something there. So I've got, we got, it'll crank. Battery sounds a little weak. Maybe we'll put jump box on it. I gotta go get some fuel, and I ran a wire to the HEI. We'll put that to power and put some fuel to it, and it should run. So I kind of didn't want to bore you guys with all the hooking of everything up. So I went ahead, hooked everything up. So as long as I'm in time, it should light right up. So let me go get some gas. And I think that's all I need. And we can see if it'll run. Sit tight. Fuel. That was easy enough. So it looks like we got a runner. Doesn't sound too hateful. I mean, it's just a 305. It's bone stock, but at least it has all 8 cylinders. Now, this motor was in a van that I had prior, and it actually didn't run worth shit. And I put a set of heads back on this motor. But this is actually a fresh motor. Looked like we had pretty good oil pressure. Fire back up. Let's go ahead and fire it back up one more time. I mean, this was pretty easy. Good oil pressure. I mean, for a motor with manifolds, sounds okay. So, I mean, it's got exhaust manifolds on, no headers, which it's going in that truck with single exhaust. But now that I know it runs, it sounds okay, got good oil pressure. Buttoned up a couple of things on it, but now I know it runs. I can bolt my trans to it, put it in the truck, and one wire and my jumper wire, and it'll run. So that was pretty easy for this evening. Kind of a uneventful startup video, but hey, you know, pretty simple. I guess I could call it, will it run? Well, yeah, it did run. It actually lit right off, which is good. I like to try to always, when I light these motors for the first time, I always try to get the timing as close as you can, and so you're not sitting there cranking and cranking and cranking and cranking it. But I did have this motor running a couple years ago, but it, like I said, it did have 2 bad heads. But now it sounds fine. It would never run like it just ran now before. It barely made any power. So it actually sounds pretty good. So next step is got to get the motor and trans that's out back. I got a 400 small block with a long tail turbo 350 that I cut out of a 72 Caprice. I might have said Impala in the last video, but it was a Chevy Caprice. I'm going to pull the pan on the trans, take a peek inside. If I don't see any garbage in the pan, I'm going to clean it, service it, and bolt it to this motor, and away we go. So as of right now, the way this sits, I have $90 in it. Because like I said before, this is all from abandoned projects and vehicles that I bought parts for that I've since bought other parts for. So I bought a starter off a high torque starter off of Amazon. It was $90. That's what I have in this thing as it sits. So I don't have anything in it right yet. So right now we're looking good on the budget tow truck build. Looking real good. That leaves me money to spend on other things that the truck desperately needs. Brakes, tires. I've got a full wiring harness over there that I'll use in the truck. Now that I know the motor runs, it sounds okay. We're golden there. So next step is get the motor out of the truck, take the truck down to car wash, pressure wash it to get the curse off of it, and then get the trans cleaned up, and we'll start mocking up the motor mount. I'm going to reuse the horseshoe motor mount that they made. It's kind of crude. They cut it with a torch, and it's a little crude, but I'm going to use it. I want to use it because I want to keep some of the crudeness to the truck for the whole character of the build that I'm going after on this thing. So that's your little update video for today. Catch me on the next one.